Well, hello, boys and girls. Are you ready for today's math lesson? Okay, so for today, you're going to need your yellow math workbook. You need your paper shapes that were included in your pattern block bag. Okay, your bag of pattern blocks. Remember I told you yesterday that you had paper shapes in there? Well, please take all of those out, okay? Now they've already been cut up for you. Let's go over what you should have. You should have two larger triangles, not squares, triangles. You should have a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller of a triangle, and then an itty bitty one, okay? You should have actually another triangle. Look at all those triangles. You should have, how many triangles do you see? You see 5 triangles, that's right. You also should have a square. And class, you should have this shape here. This is known as a parallelogram. Can you say parallelogram? Say parallelogram again. Okay, what is this? Say square. And what are these? Can you say triangles? Okay, class, so that's what you should have in your bag. Okay, I want everyone to turn over to lesson 5 problem set. Please, let's begin by writing our first and last name. Your number symbol and your classroom number. Okay, class. These shapes that you see here, those are the shapes that you just took out of your bag, okay? I went ahead and cut them all up for you so they're already ready to go, okay, for this lesson. Okay, it says, how many shapes were used to make this large square? So we see a large square here, right? But how many shapes do you count inside of that? How many shapes were used to make that? Can you write that number here to complete the statement? It says there are blank shapes in this large square. Write how many shapes were used to make the larger square here. Okay, class, let's go to, that was 1A. Let's go to 1B. It says, what are the names of the 3 types of shapes used to make the large square? So think about all your shapes you have here, okay? And we went over the names of those shapes this morning, okay? Can you go ahead and write the names of those shapes on the lines here? Go ahead and do that now and pause the video. Okay. One shape, class, that you probably had trouble spelling, I'm going to help you with, okay, so you can check it. But all your other shapes, if you turn to the second page, they were all spelled here so you can check for correct spelling, okay? So make sure you double check that you spelled them correctly by referencing this informational sheet, okay? Remember, this is your attributes of your shapes. So the one shape that you did not see on there was parallelogram, okay? I'm gonna spell that here on the last line. If you have it anywhere else on your lines, that's okay. Just double check the spelling. Let me enlarge this so you can see, easily read it. Parallelogram is spelled P-A-R-A-L-L-E-L-O-G-R-A-M. Parallelogram. Parallelogram. Go ahead and pause the video now if you're still writing that name. Okay, class, now I want you to do the following. Number 2 says, use 2 of your tangram pieces. So remember, all your cutouts are called tangrams, okay? To make a square. So you want to use 2 of your tangram pieces. So circle the word 2. the number 2. So you want to use 2 of those pieces to make a square. Which 2 pieces did you use? Draw or trace the pieces to show how you made the square. So class, if I were looking at the pieces here, I may choose, well, we know that we want to end up with a square, right? So we do have a square here. Class, remember I told you the trick from last time? If that's what you want to end up with, then take the shape that you want to end up making, okay, and trace around it. You want to end up making a square, right? Using 2 of your tangram pieces. So take your square and trace it. Got to hold it down, right? And then once you've traced all the sides, lift it up. Now, which 2 pieces of tangrams would fit inside? I see it. The 2 smaller triangles would fit inside. So you need to draw the sides that are missing, and the ones that are missing are right here, down the middle. So I'm going to remove one of them, holding down the other one, and I'm going to draw and trace. This is tracing, okay? That side. And there you go. You have it. So this time, class, it says use 4 of your tangram pieces to make a trapezoid. Draw or trace the pieces to show the shapes you used. Well, I don't see a trapezoid in one of our pieces. So now you're going to need to form a trapezoid using 4 of the pieces. Okay, let me remind you, class, that in your shapes, okay, that you have, this is a trapezoid. Okay, to trace this, your shapes that you have, your tangram pieces, would be a lot larger than this. So you're not going to be able to trace it. You're not going to be able to use that shortcut, okay? But instead, keep this visible, maybe put up here, so that you can form, using 4 pieces, this shape. Obviously, it's going to be a lot larger, okay, or longer. So go ahead and complete section number 3. Get 4 pieces of tangram pieces and keep trying out till you form this shape, okay? And yes, it's going to be larger. Then I want you to trace those tangram pieces that you used. Go ahead and pause the video now. Okay, class, problem number 5. The back side of lesson 5. Make sure you're on the back side, class. Okay, so we're not doing number 5 down below, so let's cross out the number. But you are doing number 4. Okay, this is, look, it reminds me of yesterday's lesson, okay? And you'll see what I mean by that in just a minute. So you have a large area here. It says use all 7 tangram pieces to complete the puzzle. So you have 7 tangram pieces. Now I'm going to change the directions. To complete the puzzle, you don't have a picture here to go by. So I'm going to tell you that I want you to use all 7 tangram pieces to complete a picture. Remember to trace your tangram pieces that you use to create a picture in this section. And you're using all 7 pieces, okay? Okay, class, when you're finished with the back side and the front side, please send me a picture of your completed both pages through your Class Dojo.